On a gorgeous Saturday afternoon in Colorado Springs, Colorado, we are at the U.S. Air Force Academy for some college football. Before the Falcons take the field, the cadets, all 4,200 strong, march onto the field to get ready for some Mountain West Conference play. Pomp and circumstance is part of this performance every day, including the cadets charging up into Section 8 here at Falcon Stadium. It's Nevada against Air Force. With former Buckeye Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman. So glad you could join us here this afternoon to see two teams that put a lot of points on the board typically, but they do it in much different fashion.
Very contrasting styles. Air Force, they're going to run it. Nevada, they're going to throw it. They run the air raid offense, that Hal Mummy going all the way back to Kentucky. And of course for Air Force, I think it'll be interesting today. We found out before the game, Isaiah Sanders, their starting quarterback, he's been ruled out. The good news is Aaron Worthman has started 16 games at quarterback, so they're going to be in good hands at the quarterback position. Also, middle linebacker Kyle Johnson ruled out as well.
74 degrees, winds about 10 miles an hour, south-southwest, a little bit of a haze, and where it was in the 40s this morning here in Colorado Springs, they are expecting temperatures to get up into the 80s. And we are underway. Air Force won the toss and deferred, so Nevada will start with the football on its own 25-yard line.
We're going to look at Ty Ganji, the starting quarterback for the Nevada Wolfpack. He's done a pretty good job as the starting quarterback, and obviously last week put up some pretty big numbers against Toledo. On the road, they put up 44 points. The problem, they gave up 60, and they got to find a way to slow down Air Force today. They couldn't do it last week against the Rockets.
Well, Ganji is number 15 in the country coming into the week with over 1,000 yards passing. The Wolfpack 2-2 on the year after having won just 3 times a year ago. Keep it on the ground on first down. Kelton Moore is the veteran in the backfield, along with a young group of running backs that really give Jay Norvell and this Wolfpack a lot to be excited about on offense.
Yeah, and Tolatawa, the true freshman, came onto the scene last week. We'll see him probably a ton this afternoon. Had 170 yards, but you're right, they've got a stable of running backs. You'll probably see 3 or 4 of them.
Ganji, the 6'2 senior from Glendale quarterback, out of the pistol. In motion, McLean Mannix. He is the go-to receiver for Nevada. Set up the screen, left side. It's complete across the 30. First down yardage for Nevada. Move the chains on a 10-yard pickup. Romeo Doubs, the outstanding freshman from Los Angeles.
Yeah, this is one of those missile screens. Just run right inside, get a good block on the outside, and Doubs, who has a lot of speed, a little bit wet behind the ears, just a true freshman, but they're trying to find ways to get him more involved in this offense.
Repeatedly in our conversation earlier this week with Air Force head coach Troy Calhoun, he brought up the name Doubs time and time again. They are concerned about his electric type of play. Kelton Moore lowers his head for a gain of 3.
Brought down by Daniel Sutton. Gain 3, 2nd and 7.
Screen once again. Across the 40 out to about the 44-yard line. And again, it's Romeo Doubs, young man who turned down offers from Boston College, Rutgers, and Washington State, among others, to go to Nevada.
A little bit of a surprise there, but they're happy to have him nonetheless. And we talked to the coaching staff this week, and Jay Norvell and company. They said the number one thing Doubs has is speed, and they got to get the football in his hands.
On 3rd down and 3. Ganji now rolling right, puts it up near the first down marker. The pass is caught, and it looks like they may have themselves a first down to Kelton Moore.
Well, I thought that Ganji was going to be running for his life and probably get sacked here in the backfield. Somehow finds a way to skirt away from the edge rusher, and he finds his running back right over the middle, Kelton Moore, and I think you're right, Parter. They're going to give him a first down.
Moore's a junior running back from Arlington, Texas. Flag on the play. And it comes before the snap.
There's a penalty marker on the play.
A false start by number 49 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
That's on the starting tight end, Trey Carter-Wells, senior from Sparks, Nevada, not far from Reno. And so that'll push Nevada back 5 yards. There's the 55-year-old native of Madison, Wisconsin, Jay Norvell, in his second year at Nevada, former Iowa football standout. He spent a little bit of time playing in the NFL and has climbed the ranks. His first opportunity as a Division I head coach. That's Toa Taua from Lompoc, California, 5'8", 205 pounds. But he is a young man who looks like he could have a terrific career for the Pack.
Yeah, he does. I mean, you look at the speed he's got and his stature, right? You mentioned 5'8", but about 205 pounds, a little bit of a bowling ball. But last week, man, he had a couple of big-time breakout runs and 170 yards against that Rocket defense of Toledo.
They say he's got great vision with the football to be able to find a hole. Ganji. He is now a perfect 4 for 4 in completing passes. This one to McLean Mannix. And by the way, Toledo did a good job double teaming and taking him away last week. He's an important part for Nevada offensively.
He is. I mean, he's a speedster on the outside, and they'll move him around a little bit inside the slot too. They want to find the way to get the football in his hands, and you're right, last week against Toledo, they said they were just going to double team him, and that opened up opportunities for other receivers, including Caleb Fossum, who had his breakout game of the season as well.
Yeah, Fossum caught 15 passes for 147 yards last week. Third down, 2 yards to go. Gonna run for it, Taua, and he is stopped a yard short.
Well, interesting decision here coming up on 4th down. You're in that area of the field where you clearly could go for it. I'd be curious to see what Nevada decides to do. I think they're going to keep Ty Ganji out there in their offense because you know this much. You're only going to get so many possessions per game. And every time you punt the football to Air Force, I mean, there's that risk of the 7-minute drive that goes for a touchdown. So I like this decision here to go for it on 4th and 1.
9th play of the drive, 4 rushes, now 5 rushes, and that is a first down carry for the senior out of St. Francis High School in La Cañada, California.
Now, Ganji's not the fastest guy in the world, clearly, but he's got enough athleticism that they can run some design quarterback runs. This is potentially a little pitch there off to the outside. He says, I'm going to keep it and just run for the first down. Good decision. Keep the chains moving.
They really want his completion percentage, which was at 56 coming in to go up. He's a perfect 4 for 4. Now going up top with a wide open receiver. It's Elijah Cooks for a touchdown.
Ganji completes the pass to Elijah
A
Cooks.
40-yard strike has Nevada on the board first.
And Doug, this was the concern for Troy Calhoun and the Air Force Falcons coming into this game. Could they hold up in the back end? And the play action just going to freeze the safety. They're going to do a little play action on the reverse, and it comes right down the middle. And one of the free safeties just comes up and bites, and he finds Cooks wide open for the touchdown strike. Big-time throw from Ty Ganji.
Ramiz Ahmed, senior place kicker from Las Vegas. An impressive opening game drive for Ty Ganji and the Nevada Wolfpack. A 40-yard touchdown to Elijah Cooks, the sophomore from Atascadero, California. A 10-play, 75-yard drive. How will the Air Force Academy respond?
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
7-0 Nevada on the 40-yard touchdown toss from Ganji to Cooks here in Colorado Springs. And let's see what the cadets from the Air Force Academy can do in response. The Ahmed kick comes down at the 5. It's a fair catch. One of the new rules in college football this year, and so Air Force will take over at its own 25-yard line.
I do like that rule, by the way. It gives an opportunity to get the football at the 25-yard line. And yeah, there's a look at our quarterback for Air Force, Arian Worthman, who, of course, was the starter and was kind of competing with Isaiah Sanders all season, even up to this week. So he's got some experience, 10-6 as a starter, and he's a big-time runner. I think Isaiah Sanders is a little bit of a better passer. but it's Air Force. You need to run the football from the quarterback position, so I think they'll be just fine.
And the reality is, you could do a lot worse in your backup quarterback than Arion Worthman. Caden Remsburg, the running back coming off his career performance, sophomore from Newton, Kansas, with a gain of 4.
Yeah, Remsburg's really come onto the scene. Got a lot of speed from that tailback position.
Worthman passing this year only 4 of 12 for 52 yards, but his name is already in several places throughout the Nevada record books. Running the option to the near side, once again trying to establish the run game with Caden Remsburg, who is one of the fastest players in the Mountain West Conference.
You know, in defending the triple option attack, you really have to do a good job setting the edge, and I think what they're doing right now is they're challenging Nevada on the outside. There's a look at the offense and how many rushing yards they average per game, 6th in the country, 288 yards. But the time of possession, that's what kills you as a defense.
Up the middle, good second effort, but they're going to mark him down just about at the original line of scrimmage for no gain.
Big old Dom Peterson there in the middle of that Nevada Wolfpack defensive front. He's happy to be back. He was out last year with a broken foot. And look at this. Stacking the line, already considering going for it on 4th and 1 at your own 35-yard line.
Which for this team is not unusual.
No, but it's risky business.
We'll see if they actually do go for it when we come back to Falcon Stadium.
That's a Tucanos timeout. Lucky Roll will receive a special.
Yesterday, Dustin and I were thrilled to receive a guided tour around the academy, which began and ended at the signature building here on campus. It's called the Cadet Chapel, and it's just a breathtaking spot.
Yeah, I got to tell you, partner, this was one of the greatest days I've experienced. I mean, this was like on the bucket list. To have an opportunity to tour their campus, their facilities. That chapel was unbelievable. And the history and just watching the players getting their formation before they march into the mess hall for their mandatory lunch, just phenomenal.
Yeah,
great stuff.
Over 4,000 cadets, as we saw in that last shot, line up around the center of campus, around the center of the academy, and they march into the mess hall and they eat their lunch in 15 minutes. Apparently the food is in place within 2 minutes, and 13 minutes later the food's gone and the guys are on to the rest of their day. On 4th down, no surprise the Falcons get it. It's Caden Remsburg, and I'll tell you what, that's the 18th time this season already that Air Force has gone for it in only 3+ games.
They're efficient. They get him in motion, and then they just toss it out to him. And it's a bad toss. It's actually behind him. But Remsburg, you see with the speed, is just able to outrun all the Wolfpack to the edge for the first down.
Now, Coach Calhoun was quick to tell us on our conference call earlier this week that, yeah, you can call us triple option, but he prefers to think of what they do here as more multiple. Here they come in the option pitch to the near sideline, and it's a gain of 6, maybe 7 on 1st down.
Again, they got to be stouter on the edges of their defense, Nevada has to. I was talking to some folks at Nevada before the game, and they said that was the #1 concern. Can their guys up front on the edges, their defensive ends in this 3-3-5 defense, hold up? And so far, Air Force is taking advantage of it.
They gave Ronald Cleveland 6 yards on his first attempt. Run it right side, Josh Saucier. And he is pushed back for a loss. Saucier loses 2 on the carry. Justin Brent, one of the reserve safeties, on the tackle.
Yeah, and think about this. Nephi Sewell, the starting strong safety, is out today. And so you're going to see guys like Justin Brent, the young Tyson Williams, who's wearing number 20 today, the redshirt freshman. So they've got a rotation of a bunch of new faces in their secondary. So it's something to keep an eye on as we go throughout this game.
Yeah, another one is Dayon Henley, who has spent time at receiver this year, has been switched to defense starting this week. He's wearing number 11. Worthman spins through the first tackle, able to get out to midfield after a gain of 3.
That Sewell name is pretty special. Starting Mike linebacker here, Gabriel Sewell. And they've got a family lineage, by the way. Their younger brother is a starting offensive tackle at Oregon, and they've got a younger brother in high school who's already got an offer from Alabama.
Not bad. On 4th down and 3, they won't go for it, so the punt team is out there. Charlie Scott's first attempt will go into the end zone for a touchback. Well, Air Force flips the field on a beautiful day here in Colorado Springs, here at the base of the Rocky Mountains. Among the interesting things Jay Norvell has brought with him in year number 2 to Nevada football is the Wolfpack Walk. So every time on the road and at home, they get their team together, and everybody who has either currently played for the Wolfpack or previously has played is invited. So the alumni are invited to come back, and they allow for the alumni to address the players pregame.
I think it's pretty special, and it really makes the players, the current players, think about what the former players did to lay the foundation for them. It's something that Norvell brought from Arizona State, and it seems to be working.
And so that was video from yesterday here at Falcon Stadium after the team worked out in Reno. They flew down here to Colorado Springs.
The whole team was not set for a second before they snapped the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
All start whole team?
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. That's a rare one. When you can't get a number, just say the whole team.
Whole team.
You know, Ganji's off to a pretty fast start. 5 for 5 passing so far early in this game. That's not going to work.
Jeremy Fedulum drops him for a 5-yard loss as Jackson Kincaid had nowhere to run.
You know, Kincaid's listed on the roster in the 2-deep as a running back. But we had chatted with the offensive coordinator, Matt Mumme, this week, and he said Kincaid will be used more as a wide receiver in this game in particular, and that's where they had him. They had him out the slot. They bring him in motion on the jet sweep.
2nd and long. Ganji gives to the running back, and he is met for a gain of 1. Well, we've all been waiting for the big game tonight in Happy Valley. My partner's pumping his fist, and I'm guessing you're pumping that fist for the guys on the left and not on the right in that graphic.
Well, it's a big deal for my family. It's something maybe we'll talk about later. But yeah, as a former Buckeye, it's always fun to watch the Buckeyes play. And in Happy Valley, whiteout conditions tonight, they're saying it's going to be one of the great college football atmospheres you're going to see all season long.
Well, they list capacity at Beaver Stadium at 106,000 and change, but they can push it up to 110. I think we might have ourselves a new record in Happy Valley this evening. On 3rd down, play it conservatively with Kelton Moore just to give some room for the punt team. 10-yard pickup. Yeah, let's show you that graphic. Let's turn back the clock a little bit. Your brother, Derek, your older brother, played for the Nittany Lions. Of course, you were a Buckeye. And so you guys never played against each other. He's enough older than you, but the rivalry runs deep.
It's big, and I'll tell you, I went to every game in Happy Valley for 4 years when he was playing. And I nearly committed to the Nittany Lions. So that's why this game always kind of has a special place in my heart, because I root for the Nittany Lions every game except this one. So this one tonight will be a lot of fun.
I didn't point out that last line of the graphic, but that's my favorite, that not surprisingly, they asked Derek who the best player is, and Derek says, me. And we asked my partner who the best player is, and of course Dustin's going to say, me.
Well, I was faster and I jumped higher.
Oh. At 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, it's Sunday NFL Countdown. You don't want to miss hearing what former Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel has to say to Baker Mayfield, who makes his first career start on Sunday. Plus, Randy Moss ranks this week's best catches. And 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on ESPN, Monday Night Football Week 4 featuring the AFC West battle with Patrick Mahomes and the unbeaten Chiefs taking on the Broncos just up the road in Denver.
So as we take a look at this Air Force offense so far, partner, 7 rushes for 24 yards, just 3.4 yards per carry. They want to get that up a little bit more, but how about this? They've had 5 different ball carriers already in just 10 minutes of football. 5 different ball carriers. That's crazy. They're spreading it out.
And so defensively for Nevada, you've got to be extra disciplined and have your eyes in the right place against this type of offense.
Good point.
Again, Arion Worthman gets the start at quarterback. We learned not long before kickoff that Isaiah Sanders would not play.
Cole Fagan with the football.
3-yard gain by the fullback Cole Fagan. A young man who says, I love hitting people. I love that quote.
I loved it too. When we chatted with Coach Calhoun this week, he was talking about him raving about the attitude of Cole Fagan, who they say has the look of steel in his eyes. He's a bad man, that number 34.
Now, he grew up in Gator country. He's from North Florida. On the reverse, nowhere to go. That was bottled up nicely. Ronald Cleveland dropped in the backfield.
What's fascinating about this play, this is actually a pass because he throws it forward, a shovel pass here, right there, to his wide receiver, Ronald Cleveland, who they say is probably the twitchiest athlete they've got on their squad. Get the football in his hands a little bit more. But so far, very impressive job by the Wolfpack defense to get off the field twice. And we were talking with the coaches. They were like, hey, we got to steal a possession here or there. Well, already early in this game, 2 big stops.
Discipline is something that you hear a lot about when you're watching Service Academy football. But to play against it, you need that sort of discipline. Scott's second punt. Fair catch. And after Romeo Doubs secured it, the Wolfpack will come back out. 39-yard punt, 0 on the return. And they'll take over at the 15-yard line. And there's some of the road woes when the Wolfpack leave Reno. 8 straight losses in 15 of 16, and that obviously is something the second-year coaching staff is looking to change.
No doubt about it. One of the things that is fascinating, though, is that they haven't had any favors on the road. Every one of those losses for Jay Norvell, 8 straight losses on the road, they've been double-digit underdogs. So tough opponents, obviously, as they travel outside of Reno.
Ganji being chased, gets rid of it. Incomplete. Yeah, on the year, Nevada opened up the season at home with a 72-19 blowout of Portland State that matched the all-time program record for points in a game. Then they went to Vanderbilt and lost 41-10 in an SEC road game before the big win of the year so far, taking down Oregon State on September 15th, 37-35. That was Ganji's first incompletion of the afternoon. Keep it on the ground to Moore. And once again, the Falcons defense is ready after a gain of 2. Tackle made by Blake Daly, senior from Gas City, Indiana. And again, Daly getting the start for Kyle Johnson, who was scratched from the lineup just before kickoff, as well as the starting quarterback, Isaiah Sanders.
Boy, partner, I've sold our audience short. I said they're going to come out and throw the football around, and obviously they had the big touchdown Nevada did. But they've ran the football quite a bit. 8 carries already in this first quarter for the Wolfpack.
Well, it's the air raid offense, but their offensive coordinator, Matt Mumme, says we do throw it, but we like to have more balance than in other air raid offenses.
It's at 60-40.
Off the play action fake, it's a completion to Caleb Fossum. First down pickup of 13 yards. As mentioned, Fossum coming off a career performance last week at Toledo. 15 receptions, 147 yards.
15 catches. It's just funny to think that's that many targets, that many catches. Well, you think they're trying to get the football to McLean Mannix on the outside, and when they doubled him, Ganji said, all right, I'll find my other guy. And Fossum had a breakout game.
First down pass, a bit behind the receiver who adjusts nicely. Tawa with his first reception. Toa Tawa, the younger brother of all-time Wolfpack great Vi Tawa, who is, by the way, on the coaching staff for Jay Norvell. Flag down.
A false start by number 65 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still second down.
Well, that's one way to go the wrong direction. It's a couple of false starts, a couple penalties. Got to be a little bit more disciplined here. Talking about Nevada, you get 5 yards on first down, and then you give it right back. So you want to stay on schedule. You want to stay in front of the chains. It's not the way to do it.
Going deep down the left sideline, up to try and bring down.
Ganji's fans
Romeo Doubs, the freshman, couldn't haul it in.
Zane Lewis here had pretty good coverage. And Doubs almost hauls that in for a terrific catch, but at the last moment just unable to corral the football as Zane Lewis, number 6, was in coverage.
Zane Lewis has done a nice job this year. Took Fedulum's starting spot when James Jones IV went down. Jones, the starting free safety, injured with a torn ACL back in August. Play fake. Pass deflected and falls incomplete.
Now they're trying to get Brendan O'Leary-Orange, who's back from his concussion last week, on one of those wide receiver screens, and it's broken up. A terrific job by the Air Force defense, just kind of sniffing that one out, and Nevada trying to pick up some yards there on 3rd down, and the Falcons weren't having it.
Cleveland awaits the punt from Quentin Conaway. And you mentioned O'Leary-Orange coming back from the injury suffered against Oregon State when he was stretchered off after trying to make a diving attempt. This is the first time we've seen him since. Cleveland gobbles it up and has nowhere to go. Tremendous punt coverage here at Falcon Stadium. Well, in the Mountain West Conference, especially in the Mountain Division, you're used to playing at altitude, but not like the altitude they have here in Colorado Springs.
6,600 feet above sea level. It's the second, of course, to Laramie War Memorial Stadium there for Wyoming and the Cowboys. I played out west one time against the Denver Broncos when I was with the Buffalo Bills, and I'd never experienced altitude before. I was like, what is this? You think it's going to affect how I feel? I ran down on a kickoff against the Broncos, and it felt like a 10-play drive. It was unbelievable.
And again, we are just about an hour south of Denver, where you played against the Broncos. And heck, I noticed it just walking around. You walk a hill around here, and you're like, wait, this is a little different.
Damian Faber makes
to hit up the
Second and 4.
The front desk this morning for some extra bottles of water and Powerade because I'm getting dehydrated. My goodness gracious.
That tackle made by Damian Baber, one of the senior leaders of this defense from Palmdale, California. Quarterback keeps. Going to get about a yard short is Arion Worthman.
Air Force
Job by Adam Lopez on the stop.
3rd down and 1 for the Falcons.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Give it to the fullback for a 1st down.
Cole Fagan plows to the middle for Air Force.
Cole Fagan. He's got a couple of touchdown runs on the year. He gets the football more frequently than anybody else in that offensive backfield for Air Force.
Yeah, I remember last year, he came off the bench, replaced Parker Wilson, who was the starting fullback, and did a nice job. Came on the scene and had 67 yards and a touchdown. Well, Air Force on the move.
End of the 1st quarter. Elijah Cooks with the big play of that quarter with a touchdown. Nevada on top.
A playoff statement awaits.
And they, at some point, pop a big one. Just 2 first downs. Part of that. They want to get 22 to 25 a game. Just not going to be good enough so far. And really, kudos to the Wolfpack. Their defense has played extremely stout. I thought the first drive of the game, they were a little weak on the edge, but thus far, done a pretty good job.
Off of the 37-yard punt. And we welcome you back to Colorado Springs, Colorado. We had some technical difficulties. We apologize for those, and we're glad that you're still with us as we are early in the second quarter.
Timeout.
With Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman. It's 7-0 Nevada as a timeout has just been called on the field. Let's show you the first touchdown of the game, which came in the 1st quarter. Ty Ganji, the high-flying QB for Nevada, threw a perfect strike.
Yeah, he's going to find Elijah Cooks right down the seam. They fake the reverse. The safeties bite for Air Force, and Cooks finds himself in the end zone. But that's really been the only explosion we've seen from either offense so far. Just that one big play. Other than that, it's just been a lot of defense.
Yeah, Nevada, outside of that one big 40-yard touchdown, they've only gained 64 yards on 18 plays, only 3.6 yards per play. So again, despite that one busted coverage, you'd have to say overall, their defense has been solid. There is Ty Ganji, who originally walked on at the University of Colorado up in Boulder, and is now full scholarship, and he continues to climb the ranks in Nevada football history. A little too long that time for his intended receiver. And let's show you the road to Reno. Ty Ganji, as mentioned, never took a snap for the Buffaloes, was just a walk-on, really wanted that Pac-12 scholarship. So in pursuit of that, he went to junior college, Ventura College, was very accurate, put up big numbers, and got the scholarship he coveted from Nevada. And so now, as a second-year starter, he continues to be quite a weapon and has gotten off to a good start here today.
Kelton Moore, the ball carrier.
Yeah, he's done a good job. You know, you talk about just his career numbers. He's got a chance here to move into top 10 all-time in passing touchdowns. He's just one more to tie John Dutton there. He's now 11th in school history, but you know, he's a fun guy to watch. He fits this offense very well, and I thought it was fascinating too. Hal Mummy's son, Matt Mummy, who's the offensive coordinator here, said he's got the locker room, he's got the team, he's a leader, does all the things. There's no question who the leader is of this football team.
And he's got a win over a Pac-12 team at Oregon State this year, where he was very good against the Beavers. Tawa, a gain of 1. That'll bring up 4th down and 5. Blake Daly, one of the inside linebackers. Brody Bagnall, senior from Vancouver, Washington, in on the stop.
Quentin Conaway is the punter for Wolfpack. Set to return for Air Force is Ronald Cleveland.
And there's Ronald Cleveland, senior from Franklin, Tennessee. He's got the most open field twitch, they say. He is a dangerous receiver in the offense, 5 career touchdowns, but he's yet to bust one on punt returns. Conaway's punt sends Cleveland back to the 7. He's going to try to return it. Up the near sideline across the 20 and out of bounds. So the Air Force Academy gets the football back down 1 here at the base of the Rocky Mountains with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. A gorgeous day here at the Academy.
It's one of the top 5 atmospheres in college football.
I get butterflies every time I walk into that stadium.
Wish they'd save the whiteouts for other games.
The thoughts of Urban Meyer and James Franklin as their 2 Big Ten Conference heavyweights square off tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Take the over. It's like a lot of points are going to be scored. And boy, Trace McSorley, that kid is just, I mean, he's special. And another defense has had some issues, obviously. But that guy and Dwayne Haskins, I think we're going to see some fireworks tonight in Happy Valley.
It's funny, though, when you get a game set up like this with the 2 highest scoring offenses in the country, watch it be 7-3. You just never know.
You never know.
But the loser of that game might have a hard time in a couple of months getting itself into the football playoff. And so lots riding on the outcome of tonight's game in Happy Valley. Flag before the snap.
A false start by number 74 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still 1st down.
Earlier this week, Troy Calhoun, the head coach of the Falcons, had a quote that I just loved. It was, the antonym of coachable is arrogant, when he was talking about his terrific sophomore running back, Remsburg.
So you better be coachable. And Remsburg, the son of a coach, has done a great job here at tailback and is very, very coachable.
So I asked Coach, you would think at a service academy that would be the norm. You would think that you would have people who are largely humble and coachable. And he said it better be, but it better be for life. I mean, if I'm a boss, if I'm an employee or an employer, you want to have somebody under you who is coachable, humble, and that's what he has in Remsburg and his team.
Well, really, that's the mindset, that's the philosophy, I think, of the Air Force Academy in general. I mean, the young people that come here are coming here to learn, they're coming here to be coachable, and really to be the next leaders of our country. So really impressed with Coach Calhoun this week with our chat and learning about the academy.
Worthman throws the football over the middle, incomplete, trying to find Cleveland. Well, Remsburg is quite the speedster out of Newton, Kansas. He's run a 4.3 and you can kind of relate to that, can't you, partner?
This guy's faster than me, trust me. I mean, at 10.64 in the 100 meters electric time, that's big time. State champ in the 100 and 200 in Kansas. His father is a football coach, also the track coach there, of course, at Newton High School. So this guy's got some wheels. Unlike some of the talented running backs they've had in the past, this guy is a fast guy.
Worthman lost the football. The Wolfpack has it towards the end zone. Touchdown, Nevada. The strip sack is returned by Lucas Weber for a touchdown.
The defense and a touchdown.
The local from McQueen High School in Reno with the big play.
And you're going to get the pressure off the edge there, of course, and the football just comes loose. Malik Reed, who we talked about, moved to linebacker from defensive end, still one of their best pass rushers. You know, Workman didn't even see it coming from his blind side, and Johnny on the spot is Lucas Weber taking this one to the house. Wow.
And so the second big play of the game is made by Nevada, this time by its defense.
Yeah, they'll go back and take a look. Did Weber's knee hit the ground early before he found his way to the end zone? I don't think they had a great vantage point of it as it happened. My initial thought was he might be short, so we'll go back and take a peek. But nonetheless, a big stop and turnover for the Wolfpack defense.
Well, Weber arrived on campus as a walk-on running back, so he knows what to do with that football. He was a key reserve last year, and now one of the starting outside linebackers.
Here's the thing. If you don't have a shot down the line, it's tough to tell from that angle if he's in or out. You know, where is that football right now? Is it across the line? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Maybe this will be our best opportunity.
This may be the best one.
So there's the knee down, and I would say that he was not in, but I don't know that it's definitive enough to overturn the call on the field.
And that's the point. You know, on the field they call it a touchdown, so they've got to find enough evidence here to overturn it. And I think there is, but the angle's tough. It's tough to tell. And Weber's a great story. You talked about how he was a walk-on and a running back, and then moved the defense. And before Norvell and his staff got here, he had injured his knee, missed a lot of time.
After further review, the ruling of a fumble recovered by the defense is confirmed. However, the runner's knee was down at the 1 yard line with the ball at the half-yard line. First down.
Okay, so they saw what they thought was definitive. And I can't disagree.
And he's thinking, how many times am I going to find the end zone? And you're going to take it away? We're going to punch it in the next play? Let me have the glory of getting in the end zone. As defensive guys, trust me, I never had a touchdown in college.
How close did you come?
We'll talk about that later. I had a fumble right in my grasp that I was going to walk into the end zone and couldn't corral it against NC State my junior year as the ball went over Phillip Rivers' head, and I just couldn't pick the ball up. So I still have nightmares about that. So the point is,
by number 76 of the offense. It's a 5 yard penalty, and it's still first down.
That's a big penalty, by the way.
Yeah, Nate Brown, the sophomore from Tracy, California, moves him back 5 yards.
I mean, you're on the goal line. At the 1 yard line, you can't back yourselves up 5 yards. That's a huge penalty.
So you've already taken 6 points off the board on the overturn call. First and goal just outside the 5. Kelton Moore driven back. He's going to lose yardage. Flag down. And it looks like we've got an injured Falcon as well. Micah Capra with the tackle. It's Lakota Wills who is hobbling. Sophomore linebacker from Richland, Washington, back down on the turf.
Personal foul, blocking below the waist by number 31 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty and replay first down.
As they work on what looks like the left foot, ankle, shin of Lakota Wills, who beat the odds to play as a true freshman here at the academy last year. 47 tackles, a couple of sacks, had an interception a year ago. He's an impact player.
Off to your left side here, you'll see the cut block come in. Right, oh goodness. You never want to see an injury like that happen. You hope he's going to be okay.
Take a break while they tend to Lakota Wills. Sophomore linebacker Lakota Wills walked off the field under his own power, but he headed right into the medical tent.
Obviously from the look, it did not look like a very good, I mean, it's a tough injury, obviously, but he's able to walk it off. Let's see and hope that he's going to be okay. One of their best pass rushers at outside linebacker.
First and goal from the 21-yard line. Ganji toward the end zone. It's intercepted at the goal line. A big play for the Falcons and a bigger return across the 30. He's across the 40. Still going. He's got daylight all the way to the house. Zane Lewis, a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Ganji's just got to put some more air under this football. Great coverage on the outside from Zane Lewis. As he's trying to just run a little bit of a fade. There's a turnover chain for you.
There you go. And it sounds like it's officially going to be a 99-yard return. Nonetheless, Air Force with its first big play of the game.
Will be Charlie Scott.
You talk about a game-changing swing. You had, if you're Nevada, a touchdown that was taken off the board. Then you still had first and goal from the 1. You get pushed back to the 21-yard line, get intercepted, and you've got a 13 or 14-point swing. And that 99-yard pick six ties the longest in school history.
So again, Ganji here, he's looking on the outside, off to his right, just got to put more air into this. Got to give your receiver a chance. He's going for the freshman, 6'6" Cole Turner, and Zane Lewis does a good job getting up for the football. And he gets some blocks down the field.
He does.
And he says, let's go. That's Jordan Jackson, 94. He says, we're going to go to the end zone together, partner. Here, you see Turner, 19. And he's got to do a better job, too, going to fight for that ball and helping out his quarterback. But Zane Lewis, who happens to be cousins with Sean Springs, the former Ohio State Buckeye and NFLer, he looks like Sean Springs running this one back to the end zone.
And on the flip side, Ty Ganji, after a quick start, completed his first 5 passes. He has misfired on 5 of his last 7, including the interception.
I can't tell you how big that false start penalty was, partner. I mean, they had the football at the 6-inch line, and because of a false start, you go backwards. Then you run on first down, you get stopped, you actually lose a couple yards, and then you end up throwing an interception.
We've got ourselves a tie ball game. Good coverage by a fired-up Falcons coverage team. You can stream live college football all season long on ESPN+. Start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. Yeah, what a swing of events, and now momentum is all in favor of the Falcons.
It's a 14-point swing. I think because of a penalty. I mean, you're sitting there, you get quarterback sneak it, for goodness sakes, to get into the end zone. Instead, you're opening up the playbook and, I mean, you going to a freshman receiver down there?
Well, the freshman receiver is 6'6", 210, so you see he's got a big size advantage, a half foot taller than the defensive back. But, as you said, you got to get more effort from him to go back and get that football.
When you're in a defeated position, whether it's as a defender or it can happen as a wide receiver too, or the inside corner has position, it's like basketball. Well, the guy's going to go up and make the play. You know, the receiver, Cole Turner, has got to get his hands in there and fight that football out. and instead it goes the other direction for 7 points.
And to weave your way 99 yards and get several blocks, good job by his teammates to make those blocks and not commit any penalties. So that big play would stand.
Ganji, the ball carrier, wrapped up by Jeremy
out to the 30-yard line, very close to the marker. Looks like he's going to be just a few inches shy. Give him 9 on the pickup.
3rd and 1.
Ganji has come from that play with a limp, playing with a brace on that left knee.
He looks like he's uncomfortable.
Quick fire, strike to the right side, it's complete. And a big play to keep Romeo Doubs from busting that one out. But it's a first down for the Wolfpack.
Keep an eye on that left knee. That last read option, and obviously they get the first down, but I mean, sometimes you have to protect yourself as a quarterback, and he didn't. He dove forward and took a lick, which I think on that knee, he's favoring that right now.
Ganji is a quarterback who does run effectively, so you've got to alter your play calling here, while he is clearly favoring that one leg. 1st and 10. Clean pocket. Pass complete at the 42-yard line.
Ganji completes the pass.
Tawa with the pickup of 3.
Makes the tackle for Air Force.
You could just tell he's obviously favoring that left knee, but he's sucking it up here and toughing this out.
There you see Ganji has cooled off here in the second quarter after the quick start to the football game. He had the 40-yard touchdown pass in the first, but then it was his pick 6 that allowed Air Force to tie it back up. Toa Tawa breaks through a tackle. That's a big gain deep into Falcons territory, a 26-yard pickup.
Well, he's got some burst too from his small stature. 5'8", 205 pounds, but watch him as he sees the hole and he bursts through it, breaks a tackle. And if Jeremy Fedgelum doesn't come over here, I'm not so sure this doesn't go to the house. Fedgelum saves the touchdown potentially, and Tawa just continues to build off of what he had last week. He had a 66-yard touchdown run against Toledo and 170 yards in that game versus the Rockets.
Dustin, Nevada is averaging better than 5 yards a snap. They go to Devontae Lee this time on the sweep, and the freshman from Oklahoma City gets inside the 30-yard line. So while the Wolfpack is picking up over 5 yards per snap, Air Force's offense just barely over 1 yard per play.
They haven't been on the field. This is a team that typically is on the field for 40-plus minutes a game. They've only had the ball for 9 minutes.
Second down and 6. Pump fake, Ganji up top, he's got a man, touchdown, Wolfpack! McLean Mannix, the sophomore from Midland, Texas, on the receiving end of a 29-yard strike.
I asked Coach Matt Mummy this week on our call partner, I said, tell me about McLean Mannix. And he says, if he gets loose, typically he's going to find the end zone. This is a little bit of a wheel, crack and go as he tries to fake the block, and Air Force bites. And he ends up being wide open down the sideline there in a football that was thrown on a dime from Ty Ganji.
That might hurt just a little bit more if you're Air Force, because they wanted Mannix coming out of high school in Midland, Texas. It was down to Army, Air Force, and Nevada, and he picked the Wolfpack and scores the big touchdown to put Nevada back in front. Well, Ty Ganji might have a gimpy leg at the moment, but it doesn't stop him from the big go-ahead touchdown pass into the hands of number 1, McLean Mannix. For Ty Ganji continues to climb the record books in Nevada football history. You see 42 career touchdown passes, including 2 here today in the go-ahead strike that just happened a moment ago to McLean Mannix. And he is again playing probably with a knee that doesn't feel very good. He took quite a shot, but he was able to stand tall in that pocket and deliver a perfect strike.
It was amazing because you're right, he takes a shot on that knee, and then he comes right back, and they come out throwing. And somehow he delivers the strike to Mannix on the outside. He's a tough kid, and they love him. Obviously, the coaching staff, Jay Norvell and company. Here you see Coach Norvell giving him some love there on the sidelines.
I talked about how this past summer he took ownership of this team. He ran the 7-on-7s, the summer workouts, and how important that is that it doesn't just come from the coaching staff.
Well, because the coaches can't be there for a lot of this stuff. And so he's sort of become the coach on the field with these guys, and that's where you earn the leadership and respect of your teammates.
So now what does Air Force do to generate some sort of offense? They have just 25 total yards. Nevada already has 3 plays of 25 or more yards on offense.
Well, and there's a look at Isaiah Sanders. That's the starting quarterback. And he's out today. Undisclosed injury, had got a little bit banged up last week in that loss to Utah State. And you talk about rhythm on offense. Right now, this Air Force offense has none of that. And you got to think, partner, that not having Sanders out there, a guy who's been the starting quarterback for the last 2 games, Workman's been a starter, but when you don't get the reps in practice with the ones and you don't get the reps in the games, it's a tough challenge for you to come out here and expect to be able to run this offense at a high clip.
Air Force only 1 of 6 on 3rd downs so far today. Play clock at 15, plenty of time for the senior quarterback from Normal, Illinois. Cleveland, the motion man, takes the pitch, trying to find the edge, can't get there, maybe picks up 2, and again coming up short on 3rd down. Asani Rufus with the stop.
All of a sudden, that first drive, when Nevada seemed to be struggling to get the edges contained, now they have. And they're flying to the football. They picked it up, the intensity level, I think, on defense. You see Rufus there from his safety spot, flying downhill, making the stop. And again, another 3 and out for the Air Force Falcons.
Punter Charlie Scott with his 4th punt of the day coming up. He's averaging 42 yards per pop so far. And this is a beauty. Driving the return man back inside his 25-yard line. It's a fair catch by Caleb Fossum. And Nevada gets the football back. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ABC, Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo features a top 10 matchup with big-time college football playoff implications. Number 4 Ohio State rolls into Beaver Stadium to take on number 9 Penn State. Also available live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. We've yet to get a pick from you yet. Your alma mater or your brother's alma mater? What's your call?
I'm scared about this one tonight, partner. I really am. I think it's going to be a close game. Think about this. 3 of the last 4 meetings between Ohio State and Penn State have been decided by 7 points or less, so I think it's going to be a close one.
On the reverse, a little trickery for Nevada, and it's a big gainer. 1st down. On the run, it's McLean Mannix. 15 yards, move the chains. Well, on game day this morning, Lee Corso started to put the Nittany Lion head on and then threw it away. And then he pulled another Nittany Lion head out from underneath the desk, put it out.
I loved it. I don't love the pick.
He loves putting on the Buckeye.
But I think his record is like 90% pick.
Right. He is Mr. Brutus, so you thought he was going that way, but now he went with Penn State.
I did like Kirby's son pulling up the sweatshirt with the Ohio State logo.
Going deep again, a little too long that time for Dubs, who has been much more involved in the Wolfpack play call here today.
And again, we talked about that knee for Ty Ganji, and it's not affecting the play calling at all for Matt Mumme, the offensive coordinator. They're slinging it out there, taking some deep shots. In fact, it kind of seems like the playbook has opened up a little bit here. In the first quarter, they had the one big play, and then they were trying to run the ball a little bit more. There's Matt Mumme.
But when you asked him to define what's the air raid offense, he said?
I said, Coach, I said, if I was just a novice fan of college football and I heard air raid.
Like, what does that mean? On the screen pass, Caleb Fossum still on his feet, out across the 45-yard line.
I said, well, just tell me. If I'm just, I need 30 seconds of what air raid is. He didn't give me 30 seconds. He said, throw it and have fun. That's what it means.
Pretty simple.
I like it.
Of course, he learned it from his dad. Matt played quarterback in Kentucky for his father, Hal Mumme, who really was the architect of the air raid offense. And, this playbook that they have here in Nevada is actually about 2/3 larger than what they used to have, because the offense just continues to change and grow and evolve.
Doug, you talked about Hal Mumme, who this all really started back at Valdosta State way back when, and then it went on to Kentucky. And you see the descendants of Hal Mumme in this air raid system. You know, Mike Leach, who of course was doing it at Texas Tech, now with Washington State. Dana Holgorsen at West Virginia. Sonny Dykes, SMU, by the way, was at Cal. So you're watching Jared Goff now in the National Football League run a lot of that air raid stuff there. Of course, and Chris Hatcher, who was the quarterback at Valdosta State, runs it at Sanford.
4th down and 1.
An illegal substitution on the offense. There were 12 in formation. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still 4th down.
Well, he understands how big of a penalty is, because you're going to go for it on 4th and 1, and now you're backed up and you have to punt. And he gets it. I mean, that's the second time, Doug, that a penalty has killed their offense. It was a false start down at the goal line, and now a situation here where you're looking to go get points before halftime, and an illegal substitution cost you 5, and now you give the football back to Air Force with a chance to try and do something here before halftime.
Well, he is a man who has certainly paid his dues. Jay Norvell, 55-year-old native of Madison, Wisconsin, who has had coaching stops as an assistant at Iowa, Northern Iowa, Wisconsin, Iowa State, then in the NFL with the Colts and the Raiders, came back to college to be an offensive coordinator at Nebraska and at UCLA and at Oklahoma. Time after time after time, he was interviewed for head coaching jobs, didn't get it until he was in his 50s, and finally gets his opportunity. And for somebody like him to have paid his dues like that, you know it means so much more.
It means a lot to him. And he's been with so many great coaches throughout his career. I always find it fascinating when I talk to coaches, Doug. I say, hey, who's rubbed off on you? You know, who sort of has influenced your philosophies? And is it Bob Stoops? No, it's Hayden Fry, his former college football coach with the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he said that's where he gets his core values from. It's about toughness, it's about physicality and doing things the right way, and that's what Hayden Fry has instilled in Jay Norvell, and they're bringing it here to Nevada.
Jay Norvell also wanted to mention his most recent boss at Arizona State, former head coach of the Sun Devils, Todd Graham. Among the things he took from him was that Wolfpack walk that we showed you earlier in the game, in terms of trying to foster the family feeling at Nevada and making sure that all of the former Wolfpack players feel like they are still involved with the team.
Just 3-9 last year, their first season, but when you look at all those freshmen that are playing on offense and defense, they feel really good about where the future is headed for the Nevada Wolfpack.
Now that Nevada defense coming after Worthman. We've got flags down everywhere. Worthman still fighting for yardage. We may have multiple infractions on this play.
Personal foul, chop block by number 84 and 37 of the offense. Penalty is declined. It's 3rd down.
Take a look at the right side of your screen.
Yeah, it's whenever you get a guy going high and a guy going low on the same defender, that's going to get called every single time. And sometimes, you know, in this triple option attack, you've got a lot of cut blocks. And you got to be careful, you got to be disciplined. That's an easy call. But again, because of the situation where you're on the field, they'd rather decline the penalty and just go to 3rd down and have a chance here to maybe get the football back one more time before halftime. You've got Gaines, who's looking good, throwing the football. And Coach Calhoun is not too happy at this point. And we talk about the penalties. You're not used to seeing an Air Force, a Falcon squad that's undisciplined. They pride themselves in fundamentals, execution, and doing things the right way all the time. And so far, I think in this game, you know, Air Force has shot themselves in the foot. They're obviously not getting things going offensively. And then you've got the penalties to add on to it. Coach Calhoun, you can see his look in his eyes right there. He's just not too happy.
As we showed earlier in the game, through the first 3 games of the season, Air Force was 6th in the country in rushing offense per game, over 280 yards a game. 2nd in time of possession, nearly 39 minutes per game, and those have not been something we've been able to see in the first half here today. 24 plays, 30 yards so far for Air Force. The longest play, just an 8-yard run, and now they're facing 3rd down and 9.
That's what I'm talking about. The discipline's always there.
Yeah.
4th fewest penalties in FBS. They don't look like that team today.
Worthman, nowhere to go. That is just one defensive lineman beating the man in front of him, Corey Rush, with the sack.
And if you're Jay Norvell, you may consider hitting a timeout here and buying yourself some more time before you get the football back. Again, it's a little bit of a twist and a stunt. And you see big number 98 coming in there. Sam Hammond, who's a former walk-on, by the way. We've got a lot of former walk-ons on this squad that have made an impact for Jay Norvell and company.
Everybody's path is different. Not everybody's a 4-star or a 5-star, and not because, or just because you're a 4 or 5-star doesn't mean you're going to be successful in college football. So at this level, Dustin, as much as anything, I love those stories, watching guys who are not ranked or 2-stars, who have that chip on their shoulder, and they work at it and turn themselves into, well, from walk-on to scholarship player, and then from rank and file scholarship player into all-conference performers.
There's been some good ones along the way. One of the best players in the National Football League, J.J. Watt, was a former walk-on.
Right.
And so there's no surprise when you see guys who have that chip on their shoulder. When they get to this level, they finally get that opportunity. Baker Mayfield walked on twice, #1 overall pick. That's what a great story in Cleveland. Not seeing him.
Punter Charlie Scott with his heels near the back of the end zone. Clean snap, and he's able to get it away. But with 1:18 on the clock, Nevada should get the football with decent field position, although a big roll in favor of the Falcons. And we've got another penalty. The Falcons pick it up and run to the end zone.
I think there was kick catch interference because the flag came out, and then Air Force just picked the ball up. They think it hit a Nevada Wolfpack player. There's a lot of confusion down there.
Punt covered 66 yards. But the Falcons saw something where they thought, let's pick up the ball and run and finish this play and get an easy touchdown. We have had no signal of touchdown as the officials continue to sort it out.
Kick catch interference by the kicking team. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it's 1st down.
I thought the returner was having a hard time getting to the ball because all of a sudden it's rolling. You're thinking, well, why don't you pick it up instead of letting it roll for 15 yards? Yeah, so there it is. There's the kick-catch interference. He has no chance to fair catch it. And I don't know why Air Force, unless they think it hit the, yeah, I think they thought it hit the gunner. Number 15. That's Travion Armstrong, the tight end, coming down, who the football may have hit, but it doesn't matter because you're, again, undisciplined now on special teams for Air Force.
And so now that Wolfpack offense, as you see, averaging over 6 yards per play, with a chance to put more points on the board with 1:10 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Angie going for it again. A little bit long into double coverage, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Air Force, 2nd down.
I'd have to say, if you are the Falcons, and if you can get this to the locker room at halftime down only 7, you would consider yourselves extremely lucky.
When you've got an offense that averages 288 yards a game on the ground, you've got 25 at halftime, yeah, I'd say you'd be thrilled to go in at halftime and try to make some adjustments here. But you're right. I mean, you got to continue here to fight because Nevada's looking for points.
And again, the only points put on the board by the Falcons came from their defense. A 99-yard interception return. Flags down. Pass is caught by the running back, Kelton Moore. Out of bounds at the 30. 12 men on the field is what we're looking at.
Makes the stop. Penalty flag on the play.
Nevada was trying to get somebody off the field.
Here's on the field. The penalty is declined. It's 1st down.
see at the bottom of the screen. They're running the defender off the field. And again, they decline the penalty because you find your guy in the flat, picks up the first down, gets out of bounds, saves yourself a timeout. Nevada's on the move.
That is the 4th decline penalty on Air Force. Ganji to the end zone again. He's got a man. The defender fell down, and it's Brendan O'Leary-Orange for 6. A 30-yard touchdown.
Well, that's a way to welcome O'Leary-Orange back into the lineup. He was out last week. He missed the game with a concussion. There you see the cornerback, Dalen Sutton. He just sort of has a little turf monster there, trips himself up. And of course, Brendan O'Leary-Orange says, I'll take the free touchdown. Good throw again, same side of the field, beautifully thrown in rhythm with timing for the touchdown.
The point after is good by Ahmed. And the 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon by Ty Ganji makes the score 21-7 Nevada.
You'll see O'Leary-Orange, who's a big target, 6'4", 210 pounds, out of Canada. And Dalen Sutton just trips up. Easy throw and catch. And we're looking at a ball game here that think about it, without the pick 6 for Air Force, could be 28-0. That's just so surprising to look at the discrepancy in total yardage. The fact that Air Force only has 25 yards of total offense in this game. And we're looking at a defense that they've been giving up 40 points a game. Yep. They gave up 66 last week to Toledo.
As you see coming up on the halftime report, college football news and notes from the studio, and also our first half analysis from here in Colorado Springs, where it has been all Nevada in this Mountain West Conference interdivisional showdown. Air Force from the Mountain Division, Nevada from the West Division.
The last road victory, I'm going to quiz you right now, Paul.
Okay.
The last road victory for Nevada was when and against who?
3 years ago.
Okay.
Against their opponent.
UNLV.
Okay.
2016.
All right.
The last road victory for Nevada. Been a long time.
Well, if you are the Nevada Wolfpack, there's no better place to go than to Las Vegas to win a road game. And
well, into the locker room right now, up 21-7 at halftime. That's a good place to go.
No doubt about it. It has been all Nevada. Ty Ganji, the senior quarterback from Glendale, California, they said coming in they wanted his completion percentage to go up. He worked very hard on throwing the deep ball in the offseason, and he has looked good doing that here today.
He has. He now has moved into 10th all-time in school history, 3 touchdown passes on the day, and he's battling a little bit of a knee injury. Nonetheless, Nevada, they got the offense rolling on the road, looking for their first road win since 2016.
21-7 our score. Coming up after the break, we'll join Chris, Emmanuel, and Jim in the studio with the halftime report. Every time there's a home football game at the Air Force Academy here in Colorado Springs, you can count on a number of things happening. A lot of the pomp and circumstance, with the cadets marching onto the field pregame, taking their place and getting ready for some football in the Mountain West Conference. Although so far today, those cadets have not had a lot of reason to cheer, because every time the home team scores a touchdown, those cadets come back down out of the stands and do push-ups. They haven't gotten their exercise yet today. Down 21-7, but that doesn't stop you from having just a gorgeous spot and place for some Mountain West Conference football. Air Force Academy and Nevada. There's the flyover we had just before the opening kick. And welcome back, everybody. Doug Sherman along with Dustin Fox, and you and I got here both Thursday night, and we have had a marvelous couple of days here in Colorado Springs. We've learned many things about the Academy. We took a guided tour around the Academy for 2 hours yesterday, and the one thing I learned that I'll never forget is that the freshmen are considered less than human. They have to go everywhere in double time. They run everywhere in double time.
It was so fun watching the young cadets, the freshman cadets, jogging around. We saw a couple of them had their book bags on, and they're jogging around campus, and they have to stay on this narrow path on the outskirts of their main area there. It's so much fun.
Well, let's give you an idea on a day in a life.
Yeah.
whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you got to wake up early and you've got a lot on your plate.
You wake up at 6:05. By the way, if you're a freshman, you wake up at about 5:30. And then you've got all this stuff you have to go through. And I think the fascinating thing about it is, yeah, you got the film and you got the practice and classes. You're not getting to bed till 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock some nights, and then you start the thing over again the next day. This is not your average life of a student athlete. It's bigger, it's better. I have so much respect for these kids. You know, we got a chance to go inside the dorms at the squadrons and see how these guys live. It's incredible.
What they are all fighting for, of course, Mountain West Conference Championship and a trip to a bowl game, but first and foremost, football-wise, it's about the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy, which over the course of the last 20 years, Air Force Academy has done very well.
They've got 20 of them, and you talk about the bowl games and winning the conference and everything. It's about Navy and Army. And oh, by the way, next week, they've got a big one here at Falcon Stadium against the Naval Academy.
Yeah, the young men from Annapolis will be here next week. The home team, though, has lots of work still coming in the second half here today against Nevada. 21-7 Nevada leading Air Force, and Dustin Fox, it really could be 28-0 with the way the Wolfpack has really dominated.
Yeah, they certainly have offensively. Ty Ganji came off to a fast start. He finds his target down the field for the touchdown, the opening touchdown. That's Elijah Cooks, 40 yards. Air Force was sleeping in the secondary, and then they got it going a little bit with their defense.
Well, this looked like it could have been a big play. Nevada with the strip sack, and it looked like that originally was called a touchdown, but on review, it was taken off the board.
And then a 14-point swing because they got backed up because of a penalty, and then Ganji underthrows this, and it's intercepted by Zane Lewis, who takes it the other way, 99 yards for the touchdown to tie the ball game up 7 apiece, and then the Nevada Wolfpack offense got it going again.
Yeah, McLean Mannix on the receiving end, and then O'Leary Orange on the receiving end. The quarterback, Ty Ganji, 14 of 22 passing for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he has played about as well as you would expect for him to. Meanwhile, for Air Force Academy, what do you do with your backup quarterback to get back in this football game?
Get some first downs. You only had 2 in the first half as opposed to 11 from Nevada. Your defense was going to have a hard time staying with some of the skill players on the outside. Troy Calhoun had told us this week they were worried about the matchups, the wide receivers versus some of the defensive backs. So that's going to be an issue, but you're not going to be able to hang in this game unless you can find a way to the end zone. Let's start with some first downs.
And we are underway with the third quarter. Kick goes out of the back of the end zone. And let's see what Air Force does to try and get back in this football game. And again, only down 14 points. It looks like it's manageable, but the fact of the matter is if you can't move the football, short of some really crazy things happening on special teams and defense, you can't win this football game.
Got to get a first down. I mean, it's just unbelievable that Nevada has been so stout, a team that gave up 66 points last week. And again, I go back to Isaiah Sanders not starting this game. I think it's really put a hamper on this Air Force offense.
Pitch to Ronald Cleveland. Nice pickup on first down, and that is their longest play from scrimmage on the day.
And Ronald Cleveland's a guy that they said, hey, we may get him in the backfield a little bit. He's probably our twitchiest athlete on the outside. And with no one really stepping up, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get him the football a little bit more. Again, right here, look, Cleveland lined up at tailback in the I formation.
Now, Cleveland and Remsburg are your 2 game-breaking types in that backfield. They go back to Cleveland. We've got a flag in the backfield. Cleveland out to about the 49-yard line. If it stands, it would be another first down pickup.
Flag on the play.
Holding by number 87 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
That's Cade Wagispack, the tight end from Gonzales, Louisiana.
Take a look at 87 right here. He's coming in, and he just grabs the jersey of Tyson Williams, the safety who's coming down to try and make a tackle. And when you grab the jersey and turn the body, that's an easy call for the official. And again, another penalty. There you see 4 penalties for 35 yards. But there's been about 3 or 4 more that have been declined. So very, very uncharacteristic of an Air Force football team in terms of fundamentals and being sound.
And another play blown up by the defense of Nevada. Asani Rufus made sure that play went nowhere.
Watch number 2. He fights inside, and then he gets off a block and finds himself in the lap of Joseph Saucier. Rufus, who today moved into 6th place all-time in Nevada school history in terms of tackles.
2nd down and 22, straight drop. Worthman over the middle. It's a catch and a big first down for Andrew Smith and the Falcons.
Well, and let's see if that can get the offense going here for Air Force, because they needed an explosive play, something positive to happen, and Worthman finds his target right down the seam, and that's the freshman. That's the guy who's starting, of course, because Sewell's out. Nephi Sewell is missing this game with an injury.
Give it to the fullback, Cole Fagan. On that 29-yard pickup, that is Andrew Smith, who is a member of Cadet Squadron 3, the Dogs of War, and we talked about the fact that there are 40 squadrons, that all 4,200 cadets here at the academy are split up and they spend their time, and that's kind of like their fraternity, like in a more traditional college setting.
It is, and we spent some time inside those squadrons yesterday afternoon, and they all sort of have their logo, and they take so much pride in being part of that, just like a fraternity.
Here's Cleveland again, room to run. Inside the 30, twisting to the 24-yard line, and this looks like an entirely new offense here in the second half for Air Force.
Well, we made the baseball analogy earlier in terms of getting some first downs. Well, they need some home runs, and this is nearly a home run here from Cleveland on the outside. A couple carries here on this drive, and again, I think there is a concerted effort to get him the football, and now Cleveland a little bit confused as he runs off the field late, and they're probably going to get him with the penalty for 12 men on the field. Or illegal substitution, I should say.
An illegal substitution on the offense. There were 12 in formation. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
Well, again, the atypical penalty against Air Force Academy.
What's Troy Calhoun thinking right now when he sees all these flags?
Well, he understands all about discipline. He's the first Academy grad to serve as Falcons head coach, and in his 11 years, he has taken this program to 9 bowl games, but you're right, he's got to be scratching his head here today. He was a backup quarterback on one of the great Air Force Academy teams of all time back in '85 when they went 12-1 and finished number 5 in the country. He's one of the longest tenured head coaches anywhere at the Division I level. Running the option near side.
Joseph Saucier to the outside for Air Force.
Joseph Saucier, the junior from Rogers, Arkansas, grew up in the shadow of the Arkansas Razorbacks campus. Does a good job just to lower his head and make sure he picks up positive yardage as that play was strung out.
What a difference halftime makes. You talk about adjustments. Just 24 yards at halftime, and then they come out this drive already 64 yards, a couple of explosive plays.
On the bootleg, Worthman, little high and incomplete. Well, you know, at halftime we were diving deep into the record books with only those 20-something total yards for the Air Force offense. The fewest yards in a game for a Falcons team as we take another look at the incompletion.
How about the hit there from Gabriel Sewell, the middle linebacker? But as you had the great stat, my friend,
102 yards they could manage against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame back in 1977. Notre Dame went on to win the national title.
Double pass.
Throwing back toward the corner of the end zone, trying to find Saucier. Incomplete. So now Air Force only 1 for 9 on third down conversions.
Third quarter replays brought to you by Lockheed Martin.
We've talked about some of the people who are missing for Air Force, and Matt Felici, their starting place kicker, is also out. And so it's their backup, Jake Conkey, who attempted his first 2 career field goals last week. He had a 40-yarder blocked and made a 31-yarder after Felici was injured in the second quarter. This is a 43-yard attempt, and it is good. Well, it's not a touchdown, but it's points, and it's the offense for Air Force moving in the right direction. The field goal cuts the lead to 11.
Brand new ESPN app, now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now.
And however you're watching us from Colorado Springs on ESPN Plus or on the ESPN app or on ESPN News, we're so glad you could be here with us. Along with former Ohio State defensive back Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Sherman, as Air Force has taken its first possession of this second half and driven down the field for a field goal. Big plays, 29-yard pass to Smith, 21-yard run by Cleveland. And now let's see if the Air Force defense can turn the tables on the other side against the Nevada offense, led by Ty Ganji.
Now, Ty Ganji was coming into this game, just needed one touchdown to move into 10th place all-time in school history. Well, he had 3 in the first half, and he's on pace to beat his career touchdown passing in the game, which is 4, or passes in the game, I should say. And he's been impressive for a guy who I thought took a shot on his knee and was favoring it. It hasn't affected him at all in his passing game, and they've actually, I think, opened the offense up even more after the injury.
1st and 10, off the play fake. Ganji with a clean pocket, throws a strike. It's complete to the freshman Romeo Doubs. 1st down, Wolfpack. So Doubs is electric on his first collegiate touch against Portland State in the opener. This emerging talent took it 80 yards to the house. He is a dangerous playmaker who's on the rise. That a 13-yard pickup for Mr. Doubs. On the ground, Kelton Moore, the junior running back from Arlington, Texas. 45, 7-yard pickup.
That last for Air Force for a moment, Doug. 3 points is nice. It's good to get one. When you watch Nevada, their offense go down the field that they have, it's 7. Pretty recently got it to the end of this game. They had the trick play, the double pass it. They get a field goal again.
But the Falcons defense has stopped its opposition on downs and gets the ball back at its own 33-yard line. Let's see if they continue to move the football. Nice job handling it. And the pitch by, again, the third-string running back, or third-string quarterback, rather, Donald Hammond.
Pushed out of bounds by Tyson Williams.
And welcome back, everybody, to Colorado Springs, Colorado. Doug Sherman, Dustin Fox here at Falcon Stadium. We apologize for our technical difficulties and so glad you could rejoin us as Nevada tries to hold off Air Force. The Falcons have played much better in the second half and are driving the football here with their third-string quarterback, Donald Hammond III, leading the way. That's the tailback, Caden Remsburg.
Yeah, let's go back to that last drive, and you see Hammond delivering the boom and getting the Air Force Falcons excited. And then, of course, they get inside near the goal line, and he throws the touchdown strike to his top target, Marcus Bennett. And now Air Force with the big stop, the missed field goal. They feel like they've got some life. What a tale of 2 halves, goodness. Just in terms of points on the offensive side and the total offense. Just a different story here in the second half.
Yeah, an offense in the first half as Hammond is stuffed. They could barely buy a first down. The only 7 points they got in that first half was on the 99-yard pick 6 from Zane Lewis. But with a change in quarterback and better play from the rest of the offensive unit, they've looked like a completely different team.
No doubt. They were just sputtering. Their tires were spinning in mud with the offense, with Worthman at quarterback, and now with Hammond, just has a different feel.
And their defense stopped Nevada, held them to a 50-yard field goal attempt that was wide left. And so that's why the Falcons have the football back. They've also done a better job getting Caden Remsburg involved in the offense. Their sophomore tailback has 10 carries for 56 yards. Much of that here in the second half.
Remsburg and Cleveland, those guys have been the difference makers along with Hammond on that last touchdown drive. The problem is you look at that clock ticking down. It's 3rd and 13, not a position you want to be in. And with just 9 minutes to go down 2 scores, I don't know how much time they have left.
3rd and long. Hammond keeps. Gets to midfield, but he needed to get to the 45, and so that brings up 4th down and 5.
Have to go for it. Not even a question. They probably have 2 possessions tops left in the game, just looking at how much time is left. We
have an injured player laying right At midfield is Kyle Adams, who made that tackle, the junior from Ladera Ranch, California. Slow to get up, and we'll take a break while he is tended to here at midfield. Jog off the field under his own power. He seems to be okay, and we've got ourselves another 4th down opportunity for Air Force, and the Falcons love to go for it, and they have been pretty good. 68% on the year, as you see, including 2 for 2 so far this afternoon.
And there's no doubt, with the amount of time left, you're down 11 points. Easy call here for Troy Calhoun and his offense.
3rd-string quarterback Donald Hammond III. Cleveland the motion man. The pitch comes near side, and that's a 1st down for Air Force. Caden Remsburg. Gain of 6, move the chains.
I like the misdirection. This is an offense that can get you going a bunch of different ways. They fake the toss sweep to the other side, and then they come back without blockers. And the pitchman, of course, is Remsburg. He fights for the 1st down, and obviously he gets excited about it.
Out of the I formation. Play action, Hammond rolling.
Got to throw it away.
In pursuit. Sewell made him get rid of it, and it goes out of bounds. Good pursuit by the middle linebacker, Gabriel Sewell.
2nd and 10.
Since coming into the game, Hammond 3 for 6 passing, 25 yards, including a touchdown. He's been effective running the football as well. 5 carries, 17 yards, including that highlight 15-yarder that helped to set up the touchdown.
Yeah, that's the one that Burdell Robbins is not going to forget. The corner for Nevada. He took a big-time shot.
2nd and 10. Hammond, pitch. Remsburg's got some room inside the 40, still churning down to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. 8-yard gain. Tonight, 7:30 on ABC, Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. A big-time college football playoff implication game. Top 10 matchup, Ohio State number 4, Penn State number 9. Also available live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere.
Yeah, that's a big penalty there at the end of that play.
1st down.
An unsportsmanlike penalty, or unsportsmanlike conduct, I should say, on Nevada. On Caleb Meter. It's going to cost him 15 yards. Watch at the end of this play, the right side of your screen. Watch 92.
Back to live action. Cleveland turns the corner. Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 10. Dotson pushed him out of bounds. And that'll bring up 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
It's like a completely different offense here in the 2nd half than what we saw in the 1st half. They were just not in rhythm at all. Here in the 2nd half, much, much different story.
Fake the handoff up the middle. Nevada was not fooled one bit. Nolan Erickson, who's not been involved so much in the play calling, able to pick up maybe a yard.
Got to say, I've been impressed with Donald Hammond for a guy who comes off the bench. Just a young guy, sophomore. Only been here 14 months. Coach said he's capable of doing really everything they need in their offense. But from what I've seen, clearly looks like the better passer out of all the quarterbacks.
Again, we have not seen their starting quarterback, Isaiah Sanders. Their 3rd-string quarterback gets into the end zone. A 9-yard touchdown run by Donald Hammond III.
Well, this kid's got a different feel. And there's no pressure on him. Comes in off the bench. Down 28-7. Invigorate the offense. Just a little speed option down the line. Let your blockers get in front of you. Poor job of tackling by Nevada. And they're, of course, going to go for 2 here to try and make it a 3-point game. Hammond
going to try and do it himself, but he won't be able to get there. So it remains a 5-point game with 6:48 on the clock. Big tackle by Hausia Sakona. Well, Donald Hammond III got a taste of what it was like last week on the road. He is driving the bus here in Colorado Springs today. First 10 drives of the game, the Air Force offense combined for just 91 total yards. But since that young man, Mr. Hammond, came in, last 2 drives, 110 yards, and they are right back in the football game.
A different feel, this Air Force offense with him at the helm here, running the show as the quarterback. And look at the pageantry. You got to love this tradition. Come on out. How many we got to do?
23.
23, no problem. Knock him out. And I love the headgear.
What do you think he's got going on there?
A couple of them have the...
Need a little O2 here? We are at altitude here.
Yeah, I think that the Nevada defense needs a little oxygen after that last drive.
No doubt. Well, now, can the Air Force defense once again get off the field? Or if you're Nevada, can you put together a game-clinching drive? That's what we've got ahead as we take a break with 6:48 remaining in the fourth quarter. One of the prettiest backdrops you'll ever see for a college football game here in Colorado Springs. We are just at the base of the Rocky Mountains at Falcon Stadium, where the home team is pulled back to within 5. Nevada with the football, 6:48 remaining. Doug Sherman, Dustin Fox, and Ken the Wolfpack grind out a game-clinching drive. Toa Taua gets the first down carry for the Pack.
They've just got to do a good job of taking care of the football here and trying to get a couple first downs. But what a tale of two halves. Just the total offense. That young man right there in your screen, number 5, Donald Hammond, has just given a spark to this offense here. And you wonder, maybe you should have went to him a little bit earlier in the game, because he's been awesome.
It does make you wonder. Ganji up the middle, being very conservative with the play calling as the clock runs. Brody Bagnall, senior from Vancouver, Washington, on the tackle. And the fourth quarter has certainly been the domain of the Air Force Academy so far this year, having now outscored opponents 42-15.
If you're Ganji, where's Mannix? In the slot. Go to your top guy.
He's number 1 in white. Hand it off.
What a call.
And they get the first down and then some. Toa's still going.
Wow, what a call. Everybody in the stadium, including myself, thought he had to pass in 3rd and 7. They come back with this delayed handoff, the draw to Taua, and he ends up picking up the first down and more. And I love the physicality right there. Bam! Get off me, Fedulum. You want some? Come get some. That's so big time.
28 yards on the carry. Toa Taua. He's carried the football 10 times for 67 yards. And the clock continues to run. Just over 5 minutes to go. Give it to their 5'8", 205-pound freshman again and try to work some more clock.
Down by Brody Bagnall. Second and 5.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for a Nevada team looking to get back above 500 on the year. They are 2 up and 2 down out of the West Division of the Mountain West Conference. Play clock at 5. Up the middle with Kelton Moore. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Well, again, the Wolfpack have struggled outside of Reno, trying to snap that 8-game road losing streak here this afternoon.
This would be a big one for the Wolfpack. 2-2 on the season. Be nice to get above 500. They haven't won a game on the road since 2016 in Las Vegas against the Rebels.
Air Force has all 3 of its timeouts remaining.
Can't take a timeout here. 3rd and 1.
Trying to get a stop. Ganji hands it off, and they get the stop.
All right, so decision time here for Nevada. To me, I'm aggressive. I'm just going to go for it on 4th and 1 and say I'm going to just be able to ground and pound and get 1 yard and try to put this game away.
Well, Fedulum and Capra able to make that stop on 3rd down. Who's going to step up on 4th?
I mean, I'm not kicking another 51-yard field goal on 4th and 1.
No. And it would still be a 1-possession game if you get the field goal. You want to go for it and make Air Force start burning those timeouts.
And smartly, Nevada's going to let this run all the way down. They'll probably take a timeout here. And that's exactly what Jay Norvell and his staff are going to do and talk about this one.
So the silver and blue of Nevada trying to manage the end of the game and hang on to a 5-point lead.
A playoff statement awaits. Ohio State, Penn State, tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Who's in?
And tonight after Ole Miss LSU on ESPN and the ESPN app, stick around for SportsCenter with SVP. He'll have reactions to Ohio State, Penn State, plus his first look at the top 4 in the rankings. Could the SEC only get 1 team? And a live report from Paris before the final day of the Ryder Cup. Flags on the field here in Colorado Springs.
And this is a big call.
False start, number 65 of the offense.
Huge. Now decision time for Jay Norvell and his staff, where you were in 4th and 1, you were going to go for it. It's a right tackle, Aaron Frost, the freshman. Now what do you do?
I'd punt.
Oh, man.
I would punt, try and back him up.
You trust your defense against an Air Force team that just drove the length of the field? Last couple possessions?
Is my better option thinking that my offense could get 6 yards here? I'm not so sure. They're going to talk it over. Back after this. 28-23 Nevada, 4th down and 6 upcoming. And if you're the Wolfpack, do you put it in the hands of your senior quarterback, Ty Ganji, who is a perfect 10 for 10 passing here in the second half?
It's just a confidence in your offense more so than your defense right now. I agree with this call. This is exactly what I would do.
Ganji sets up the screen, tossed it short, incomplete. Air Force gets the football back with plenty of time on the clock.
That's not the call I draw up. A slow developing screen in a situation like that is just, ugh. And you had the same thing earlier, and this is on Ganji. I mean, he just, actually the ball was tipped there at the line of scrimmage, but man, yeah, watch off the edge. One of the Air Force defenders is able to get their hand on the ball, but something quick. Not a slow developing play.
His first incompletion of the second half keeps the door open for the Falcons. Again, their 3rd string quarterback, Donald Hammond III, who has been quite the revelation here in the second half, with a wild pitch that Remsburg did a nice job just to secure and pick up 1 yard.
So there's your 3rd string quarterback. And look at what the offense did before he came into the game. 10 drives for 91 yards, just 3 points. He comes in, they go just 2 drives, 110 yards, and 13 points. The other touchdown, by the way, was a 99-yard interception return in the second quarter.
Take the pitch to Cleveland. Hammond runs the option, and again, second time consecutively a bad pitch from the sophomore QB. And they're fortunate, is Air Force, to keep possession.
Yeah, I think that was a forward pass, by the way, here. This is not a fumble, and it actually helps them out because it stops the clock. So a big 3rd down and 9, and again, 4-down territory. You don't have to get it all here on 3rd down, but you want to at least get half of it.
Air Force just 2 for 12 today on 3rd down. Hammond, all time in the world to make that pass. He completes it to Bennett. Air Force is marching into Nevada territory.
Boy, a lot of cushion here on the outside from Jamon Dotson. And there's nobody within 10 yards of Marcus Bennett.
Hammond fires over the middle, caught at the 30-yard line. It's another first down to Marcus Bennett. Under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
What do you mean triple option? This is a drop back passing attack for Air Force. Again, back-to-back throws to Marcus Bennett in the offense on the move, looking to take the lead for the first time in the game.
That one covered 19 yards. Throwing again and again, an open receiver inside the 15-yard line. Hammond making all the right decisions.
And that ball's got some